Hi friends, this is Dainty Tank. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to Please Be Happy. This is part 15 in our series. Obviously, I'm still in the bad headphones, so I have trouble hearing myself. I have trouble modulating a little bit better because plus it presses down on my head. New headphones are on the way. Sorry for the complaining, but just wanted to let you know. Just so you know. Those sounds are a little weird because I just can't with these headphones. There's a reason you have not seen them in 2 years. But speaking of years, happy of the year's birthday to our very lovely Aspen, who's only 24. And has a studio apartment with cats. That's great. I am so glad. She seems lovely.
How far did we get last time?
It seems like we got fairly far here. Going in. So this is the afternoon of the departure. So we had crab all Friday night and it was lovely. And now it's Saturday evening and it sounds like Aspen is about to tell us some feelings before going to the parents, maybe? The afternoon of Aspen's departure. She's unusually quiet. Although she shows up to breakfast like normal, she barely says a word throughout the whole meal, other than things like yes please and no thanks. From the way she keeps checking her phone and messing with her face and clothes, I can tell something must be on her mind. I figure she's just antsy about her trip, so I don't bring it up or try to talk to her. So Juliet and I mostly chat until we're done eating and the dishes are cleaned up. The moment we're finished, Aspen perks up a bit.
Miho, are you ready to go to the bus station?
Yeah. This way, you have as much time as possible to get back.
Precisely. Thank you.
Of course.
Before departing, Juliet approaches Aspen and gives her a hug. From the outside, I realize that hugs look kind of weird. People have come up with the strangest ways to show they care about each other.
Safe travels, Aspen. Let us know when you get there.
Will do. I won't have reception while traveling, but I'll send a message as soon as I'm home.
How long's your trip?
If it was by car, only a couple hours. It'll be closer to 4 by bus, though. I'll take an early one on the way back tomorrow, just to be safe.
Ample reading time, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
She drums her fingers on the book, tucked it into her bag.
Patricia and I have a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, Patricia. Although she's still fidgety, it seems Aspen's remembered how to speak. After spending an unusually long amount of time adjusting her skirt and hair, she finally faces me brightly.
Well, shall we be off, Miho?
We shall.
Yep.
Yep-a-rooney.
Goodbye, Aspen. Good night, Miho.
Good night.
Bye.
Later.
That was abrupt. Bam. Aspen holds the front door open for me as we exit the library.
Where exactly is the bus station?
Not too far from my apartment. We'll pass it by on the way there.
Should we stop by and say hi to the cats? I'm sure they'd love to see me.
They're going to be angry enough at me for leaving for a day. I'm not sure I want to traumatize them right before I go.
What? What's wrong with bringing a fox into a cat's sanctuary?
Dang it. I've never gotten along with cats.
Have you known many?
Only a few. Some of the strays have some really good stories to tell.
You talk to them? Hold up. Have some very good stories to tell. So that means she can... Hold up. Miho can talk to cats. So Miho can talk to Aspen's cats, right? Is that what we just learned? Right? Plot unlocked. Two of us walk along in silence for a little bit before Aspen pokes me on the shoulder. I've gotten more used to physical contact like that, but it still surprises me every time.
What's it like talking to an animal, anyway? How do you do it?
I'm not sure. It was just something that I knew how to do, like making a den. A lot of the time, you can just feel what they mean without saying it. I don't know how to put it.
No, that makes sense. There are some things that you just can't put into words, as much as you'd like to.
Okay.
Exactly. I have the problem a lot. I'll bet you don't, though.
You'd lose that bet quite handily. Why, I'd say I struggle to put things into words more than anything.
Oh?
Really? How? I thought you loved writing.
I do, usually, but it's not that simple. Sometimes you just can't use any old words. You have to use the right ones. And often that means going through lots and lots of the wrong ones until you find them.
I think it's easier the way animals do it.
I'm with Miho on this one.
It certainly sounds like it. I often wonder if I could talk to Percy and Byron, what they would have to say.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe they just complain about me not feeding them enough or something.
Your cats' names are Percy and Byron. Uh-huh. Percy and Byron meaning, like, Percy as in, like, Mary Shelley's Percy, and Byron as in, like, Sir Byron. Is that what you're going with? I love the literary references all the way through.
Do you want me to ask them?
It's tempting, but no thanks. As long as I don't know for a fact that they're saying rude things, I can convince myself that they're not. Rather like that other cat in the box.
Schrodinger's cat.
Cats like being in boxes, so they probably wouldn't be complaining.
Not quite what I meant, but I'll take it.
She doesn't know Schrodinger's cat. Physics is not something the fox has dealt with yet. Is it physics? Just basically a quantum question. For a bit, Aspen hums quietly to herself while we walk. I don't know if she knows that I can hear her. Even though she's being more chatty, there's still something that seems a little bit off about Aspen. Can't quite place my finger on what it is, though. Is it the crab? At some point, she checks her phone and starts to walk a little bit quicker.
Are you looking forward to going home?
If she has to think about it, that kind of answers my question.
I am, yes. But like I said, I prefer to only do so for a day or two at a time.
'Cause of your parents?
A little. They're not really that bad, though. Mum's a worrywart and Dad isn't, so Mum feels like she needs to worry enough for both of them. It's not too bad over the phone, but when I'm there, Mum always tries to convince me to stay and move back.
Oh, no.
So I tell them they should move out here instead. And Mum goes into why they can't, and it's just tiresome.
Sounds like she cares about you a lot.
She does. And I love her too, don't get me wrong. It's more the town than them. Or rather, the lack thereof.
I can get that. Moving to a city is a big deal, especially for LGBT. Any part of our community is a lot more, like, safe in larger towns and cities. So it completely would be a good change of character.
What do you mean?
They live in the middle of nowhere. Mum loves it out in the countryside and says she can't live without her backyard view and half a kilometre from the nearest neighbours.
Some people, they need that, some people don't. I don't. I need to be within walking distance of getting some, like, bubble tea or hanging out or, you know, being somewhere that has doors open past 7 p.m. That.
I, on the other hand, can't live without bookstores and coffee shops and high-speed internet.
That. I need that. Too queer to be slow.
So that's why you moved to Wellington?
That's why I moved to Wellington. It seemed like a necessity to make it as an author.
I try to put together the things she's been telling me into one big picture.
Can you only find the right words here?
You can only do a lot more important meetings and, high-speed internet here. And jobs.
Exactly. At least, that's what I thought before I came. Turns out that moving to a new city won't magically make you a better writer. Or even a writer at all. Back when I was in school, I used to daydream about what life in the big city must be like. Busy and important things happening during the day, and then nights full of excitement and sparkling wonder.
Sparkling wonder.
Instead, it's the Bell House, and a tiny apartment the size of my living room back home.
I feel that.
I thought if I put myself in this new environment, then I'd grow into the type of person who belonged there.
No one belongs there. No. You have to make your space. Make it yours. And then find people who you belong with. It's more the community than anything else.
I learned the hard way that places don't change who we are. Still, better to be struggling to make it in the city than doing nothing out in the boonies, I tell myself.
Facts.
I think it sounds pretty nice. Peace and quiet, nothing to have to worry about.
Yeah, except peace and quiet, nothing to worry about also means nothing to do, and nowhere to see, and no community around you, which, coming from literally a solo fox artist, doesn't sound like a bad idea. So to me, that doesn't make sense.
Ugh, not you too. That's exactly what my mum says. Trust me, it sounds better hearing about it than living it. Just like Wellington. Or any city, I'd imagine.
I don't know. I really enjoyed the cities I moved to.
I'm sure even Wellington must seem like a bore compared to some of the places you've been to. Like Shanghai or Seoul.
Well, yeah. I still like it though. Those cities are too big for me. They're noisy and loud and smell bad, and anything can be dangerous. You have to be on your guard all the time.
Now that sounds like a lot. And there's Mount Victoria and some green and nature, and also all the gay flags everywhere.
It's not like that here. The scariest thing I've seen was a movie.
Yes.
That's true. I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it enough to stay.
Me too.
We're well into the city, pretty far past Cuba Street and the Bell House. Now that I've been there once, I also recognize Te Papa, the museum, when we pass it, by it. By now there isn't much I don't recognize. I've been all over this part of Wellington enough that I can probably get from here to Mount Victoria with my eyes closed. I memorized other cities the same way when I lived there, but for the most part, once I left, I forgot all about them. I'm not sure I'd ever be able to forget the streets of Wellington, though. Even if I wanted to. Instead of humming, Aspen started fidgeting again as we walk, messing with her phone, a purse, and hat, and glasses. I recognized the shops and apartment buildings from the walk to Aspen's house, so we can't be very far from the station.
Are you nervous?
Me? No.
Oh, you're
No.
blushing.
Why would I be?
Why would you be, little blush?
Do I seem nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it because of the bus? You don't have to worry about that. I've ridden on them lots of times and they only broke down like once.
There's some you have to actually worry about. There's a very famous line, a bus line that goes from Boston to New York that actually catches on fire a fairly regular amount.
No, it's not that. I mean, no, I'm not nervous.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, whatever you say, little red cheeks. I've never seen Aspen more nervous, but still don't push it. I can hear and smell the bus station before I see it, and then it comes into view. There are 2 or 3 buses parked or passing through. I wonder if one of them is Aspen's. We stop across the street, and she checks her phone again, then puts it away.
You're not late, are you? Oh, I could have walked faster.
No, we're right on time. It'll be here any minute now.
Cool. I'll wait with you till it arrives.
Sweet. I start to cross the road, but stop when I notice Aspen isn't following. Instead, she's still standing on the sidewalk, gripping the strap of her bag tightly.
Aspen?
I drop back to her, looking around to see if I'm missing something, but there's nothing, other than a couple people waiting far away at the station.
Are you alright?
Yeah, are you alright? What? She blinks a couple times and takes a deep, deep breath before facing me.
Miho, I have to tell you something.
Is this? Oh my God! This is in the confession. I'm sorry. That took way too much. Oh my God! This is a confession. That's what's happening here. I was not expecting this. The effect of her words is immediate. Thud thud. Like she casts a spell, my heart starts to race. Whatever she's going to say must be why she was acting so weird all afternoon. Okay, hold up. Is it because I chose to go to the movies that we have this route? Because, like, we've only gotten to choose between them twice. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna keep going. Is something bad? Is she not going to come back after all?
Yeah?
I barely managed to quick out an answer. I can't handle more heartbreak so soon.
It's something that I've been thinking about telling you for a long time.
Haven't we only known each other a couple months?
But it was one of those things where I wasn't sure how. Or when. Because I didn't know how you'd take it.
This is totally a confession and it's so adorable. Yes, please. What could it even be? We just saw Juliet, so it can't be anything to do with her. Lena? Sorry, I didn't mean to whack my head.
But then, after we all talked the other night, I realized that I should just say it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Because no matter what, I know I would regret it more later if I didn't.
Okay.
Who knows how many more chances I might get.
Oh.
So I thought about it. A lot. What the right words were. And I just couldn't figure it out.
Okay. You know Miho is lost right now, right?
So I didn't prepare. I'm just saying this, somehow, and hoping. God, I'm actually saying this, aren't I?
Oh, you're so adorable. Her grip on her hat shifts, clutching it so tightly her knuckles are turning white. I feel frozen in place, not sure what to do or say. All I can do is stare, my heart feeling like it's going to explode out of my chest while she looks down at the ground. Whispering something to herself, she wrings her hat in her hands before finally looking back at me.
There's something I want you to know. Miho, I used to think that there was no way someone like you could exist.
I mean, to be fair, Miho didn't think that Miho existed, right?
Someone who looks at the world like you do, and is honest about what you see. The good and the bad.
Yes. Yes. Hi, sir. Hi. Hello. Are you here to hang out? This is Pixel.
And at the same time, someone who doesn't realize just how much she has to offer. Just how much she makes you make people happy.
Please be
But
happy.
Here you are.
Yes?
Maybe meeting you used up all my luck for the rest of my life. But here you are. And I love you. And I just couldn't keep not telling you that. In case maybe you love me too.
Oh, so sweet. Sir, it's sweet.
I couldn't keep just hoping and wondering and not knowing. And now that I've said it, it feels so good to have out there.
Oh.
I love you, Miho. I love you.
Oh. Oh, that's so sweet. And so wholesome.
At first, I wasn't sure because everything seemed too perfect and unreal. I thought that I was just letting myself get carried away like I always do. A silly little daydream, but it's true. It makes me feel silly how much already, when I think of how utterly stupid it always sounded to me when reading about love at first sight.
Oh. Hi. I love you too.
But how could it be anything else? I don't believe in coincidence, Miho. My life was changed the moment I saw you. I just didn't know it yet. Now I do. Now we both do. I love you, Miho. It's out there, and I can't take it back.
That's precious. That is amazing. You are making this hard. This is a love confession, sir. We've been waiting for this. Well, actually, we weren't waiting for this. I'm actually a little surprised by this. And so is Miho. But, like, jeez. Her words drift away into the air as we look at each other in silence. My head is TV static, buzzing with nothing to show. Not because it's empty, but because there's too much for me to process. Aspen. In love? With me? The wind whips past my face as the bus rolls by. Pulling into the station, I barely notice it, barely able to notice anything. Aspen is in love with me? Nani?
I
Don't know what to say. That's fair. That's very valid. This is out of nowhere. I was taken aback. But Aspen raises a finger to her lips. This is adorable.
Shh. Don't tell me.
I said it now before I leave for a reason. Because I thought you might say that. Tomorrow, whatever it is you feel, I'll hear it then.
I look her at the face. I look at her at the face. No, I look at her face for some guidance on how to respond, but she just gives a smile, a weak, fragile smile. Left dumbfounded, I nod. Aspen is in love with me? Returning her hat to her head, Aspen sighs like she just finished a hard day's work.
Well, that's it. All I have to say, I suppose. As if that wasn't one of the most important things I've ever said in my life.
Aww.
That's my bus. So, I'll see you tomorrow, Miho. And no matter what, it's okay.
Okay.
If we just carry on being friends like normal, I'm fine with that. More than fine. I'm just glad that I took the chance to tell you.
For how nervous she was a few minutes ago, she doesn't seem a lot calmer now. She does seem a lot calmer. I may as well be a statue as Aspen starts to walk past me, but then she pauses.
May I give you a goodbye hug?
Yes? That much I can respond to at least.
yeah.
We wrap our arms around each other, that weird human custom thing that Juliet did. Everything may have just changed, but she's still the same Aspen she was when we left the library. I try to listen for what she might be saying without words as she squeezes me tight. Finally, she steps away with a smile. Might be the most genuine one I've ever seen on her face.
Bye, Miho.
Bye.
Bye. Make my way back to the library like a zombie, my feet moving without really thinking about it. Aspen's words keep replaying over and over in my head. I get them, but I can't make sense of them. There's not a sound to be heard from the empty aisles when I enter, Juliet having finished tidying up in the hour or so that's passed since I left. After a quick glance around, I head towards the stairs. When I head up to the second floor, I spot a sliver of light from underneath Juliet's bedroom door. I knock, and it opens just a moment later. Juliet greets me with a calm smile at first, but the corners of her mouth falter as she looks at my face. I don't quite know what expression I'm making right now. I don't know what I'm even feeling to begin with.
Miho? Did something happen?
Yes.
Aspen said she's in love with me.
That is quite the voice.
Oh, I see.
Oh. That was a tone. Juliet's not the type to be shocked easily, that's why I wanted to see her for advice, but she's even less surprised than I thought she would be.
Give me just a moment, and I'll meet you in my study.
I nod and head over there, opening the door. As I walk into the darkness, I'm met by several pairs of eyes. Hello. Was that Oedipus? I can't words. It's the Oedipus. Oedipus, right?
What?
Oh. Just as startled as I am, several bats begin to flap their wings and noisily take flight, chittering overhead before most of them leave out the open window. The biggest one watches me a bit longer before departing as well. By the time Julia enters the study and turns on the lamp, it's just me and her.
Sorry I scared off all your bats.
Forgot you had bats.
It's fine. Don't worry. I'll be back before too long.
We settle down into the same seats as last time, and Juliet behind her desk and me across from it.
So, Aspen.
Yeah. Aspen.
So, the topic. I wonder what Aspen's thinking right now. Is her head as much of a mess as mine? Probably, knowing her. Yeah, she's probably doing either victory laps in her brain, having said it, or she's panicking.
We had just gotten to the bus station when she stopped and said it.
Yeah. It's very cute. It's very, very cute that, she put it in her brain that she's gonna say something before she leaves. And, it's very obvious that was, the place and time that, her brain had set.
She said she waited until just before she left, so she didn't have to hear my feelings until tomorrow, when she gets home.
And what are your feelings?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't ever
Yeah?
thought about love. Or someone being in love with me. I don't even really know what it means. I know the word, but how does it feel? How would I know? The other day, you talked about how much you loved Cosette, and how you didn't know much about love before then. This is a different love from that, right?
Yes, it is. She thinks to herself for a while, carefully considering her answer. I'm glad she does. At least one of us can stand back and think over this properly.
Yes and no. Of course, the bond between a parent and their child is different than that of two partners, but it comes from the same part of the heart. The part that you give away to somebody else.
Aww. That's actually such a considerate answer. Oh.
Love is when you care about another person so much that the feeling becomes bigger than you.
Aww. I just realized that, like, Juliet's ears are are a little bit more pointed like a bat. I just realized it. And that's adorable. Hey, I have a clear bias. You know this.
When your life is more full and joyful for the presence of that person in it. I could throw out any number of cliches, but they'd be meaningless. What love means and how it feels are different for every person.
That's a good point. And you can feel that for multiple people.
To speak from my own experiences, love is like a flower. It starts as something tiny, but as it's nurtured and cared for, it grows. It reaches toward the sunlight and towards something better, and blooms into something beautiful. Not all flowers grow at the same rate, and not all flowers look the same. But wouldn't you agree that that's the joy of flowers, Miho?
That's so sweet and so considerate. Oh my god, I love you. I look up from the floor towards Juliet, who's watching me warmly.
I like flowers, but I've never grown one before.
But you've seen them grow, you know this.
The same can be said for everyone at some point. But as long as you're willing to give it the time and patience that it deserves, even the tiniest seed can become something wonderful.
Juliet must see the confusion on my face, because she touches my hand gently.
You should take some time to yourself, Miho. We can talk about it later tonight, if you're ready. If you needed even more time, I'm sure Aspen would understand.
Yeah. I need to think about it. And sorry for waking you up. Or keeping you up. Whichever.
It's no trouble at all. I'm glad that you felt comfortable coming to me about this.
It was the first thing I did. Thanks, by the way. You helped me out a lot.
Of course. It's my pleasure. It's what friends are for.
Friends. Juliet returns to bed and I go to my bedroom as well. I sit down on the floor, which is where I've done a lot of my best thinking lately. Good for you. I think best on the floor. I lean against my bed and turn on the TV. There sure are a lot of shows and movies about love, aren't they? Aren't there? Maybe I could watch some. Uh-oh. Please don't put on The Bachelor. It's difficult to imagine the concept of lying to me. I don't know that I do know that I care about Aspen a lot. I like being around her, I like talking to her, I look forward to seeing her when she's not here. We're friends. But could we be more than that? Spent a few hours stewing in my thoughts and not coming to any conclusions. Love feels like something that couldn't and shouldn't apply to me. And yet, here I am. Hours pass as I consider the issue from every angle. I end up with more questions than answers. How? When? Why? How? Why? Fuck. Sorry. Just imagining. Is it something I want? Is it something I could even do? What I chose to say to Aspen doesn't just affect me, it affects her too. No matter what, both of our lives are about to change. No matter what, I have to make a decision. I'm sure that I'll have some doubts either way, but I can't just ignore and run away from this. Good. So after turning it over and over in my brain, finally make a choice. Slowly, I stand up and head downstairs. Okay. There's a decision to be made, it seems. And it looks like Juliet has some feelings here too. for this, I think I am going to cut it off. I'm sorry, my head is killing me. So, this was a big deal. And hopefully, we get a little bit further soon. With that, I love you all. And I'll see you next time. Bye!